Hello again, this is Dale Becker with RE/MAX Masters, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about buyers. I want to talk to you about buyer consultations and the kinds of things that we should discuss before we ever go out to look at a home. One of the things that I will emphasize in conversation after conversation is that real estate brokers are not commodities. We're all different with different experiences, different levels of competence, different skill sets. Number one, you got to recognize it makes a big difference who you work with. I always insist on sitting down with buyers for 45 minutes to an hour before we ever get in the car because I want to talk about several things that I think are very relevant to the process of buying a home. I've seen people try to guess their way through this process, and in my opinion, that's not the way to do it. So when we sit down and we have that conversation, there are four things that I want to try and impart to you in the time that we spend together. Number one, I want you to have a clear understanding of the market. We are living in a unique and segmented market, the likes of which I really haven't seen in 16 years as a broker. The activity is heavily tilted towards the lower end of the market right now. Very few people have the courage or the confidence to move up in this market right now. And you have to know where the competition is. You have to know what that means, because the best homes at the best, most attractive price points are not sitting for 21 or 30 or 60 or 90 days. They're going in 3 or 4 days, and we need to talk about that so that you understand the lay of the land. Number two, I want to talk to you about the process. I want to explain how this entire process of buying a home works, from getting pre-qualified and hopefully pre-approved with a competent lender, to looking for homes, to writing contracts, to going through the inspection process, some of the hazards with appraisals these days. But you need to know that buying a home is a process and not an event. And there will be a little bit of drama sprinkled in at some point during the 45 days that we're under contract. I can almost guarantee it. But if you know what's out there, you know what's coming, and you know how we're going to address it, you'll sleep a lot better at night. Number three, I want to talk to you about common mistakes that I see, because I do see people make mistakes all the time. And you would be amazed if you really understood the vulnerabilities that certain buyers face because the way their contracts are written, things that are omitted from contracts. It is not a fill-in-the-blank, check-the-box contract in Colorado. It may appear that way from the outside, but when you actually understand the language that's in there and the ability that you have to include clauses that protect you, it would be crazy not to have those conversations and not to do that. And the last thing we're going to talk about is just the entire diligence process that goes into buying a home, from figuring out who the owner of the property is, to who the agent on the other side is, to figuring out what motivations are, what people owe, are there any NEDs or foreclosures in the neighborhood, is there a registered sex offender on your street. These are all things that we're going to look at to make sure there's a high probability you're going to be happy with what you buy for many years to come. This is not standard stock issue stuff. This is going above and beyond. And yes, this level of diligence will blow up a deal every now and then. But I think that's what you want if you're going to sink the kind of money into buying a new home that this investment requires. So a little bit of an overview. I would love to get together, go over these things with you in detail, one-on-one. I take this very seriously. I take your interests as if they're my own. And I sincerely hope to have the opportunity to speak with you face-to-face soon. My name is Dale Becker with RE/MAX Masters, 303-416-0087. Find me online anytime, www.dalebecker.com. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.